Hello everyone and welcome to TekFlow for Government and Public Facilities, brought to you by Zentek Consultants. TekFlow is a recurring video cast where we focus on publicly accessible venues, right? And we talk about the best technology practices and procedures that we have been implementing for our clients here at Zentek. Whether it's schools, airports, municipal buildings, hospitals, restaurants, any public space that you deal with, we're going to talk to you guys about better ways to manage and control those using simple technologies you probably already own. I am Jim Coppinger, a principal at Zentek Consultants, and today I want to talk about public and private data access made easy. So what do I mean by that? Well, a lot of times, particularly when you're in these large public facilities and systems, we run into the necessity of making sure that our data is not going out to people who shouldn't see it. In other words, we've got one set of tools and features and functions that we want to maintain internally for our own workers and our own representatives, and others that we need to share with the public, albeit maps and safety plans and contact information. And we don't want to have to reinvent the wheel each time that we do that. And that's what we really talk about when we get into these dashboarding concepts that we've been discussing here in these TekFlow talks. What we can do is start to split people through different channels when they get into these hyperlinked PDFs that they can all access and work with that we're going to put out there. Now you can always, separate them entirely. Just keep your private stuff on servers and put your public stuff out on the web and you're done. That works, nothing wrong with that. But there are a couple other ways that we can do this. We can kind of hybridize it to your specific needs. So, the first thing that we can do, and I'm going to walk you kind of through these and what I mean in a few minutes, but we can maintain visually similar but functionally different dashboards. In other words, we can have kind of two versions of the exact same map or the exact same floor plan. And again, just putting those, private on the server and public, that will go to different locations. They look the same, they act the same. So we're using the same underlying maps and buttons and tools and features, but they go to distinct places depending on whether or not you're logged in as a, public individual or a private individual within the organization. We also have the ability to use distinct URL pathing. And that kind of goes into the same exact thing, right? That what I can do is within those particular setups, I can put in URLs for kind of a private and a public access on the same setup. I can put buttons in place or, split an area or region on a map into two sections. One, it says public access, another says private access, and have two distinct URLs right on that one single page. So this way you can publish a single document that'll control both. And the other thing that you can do here takes a little bit more work and a little bit more integration with your IT group, is that you can really set security and access roles on the destination files and folders. If you don't want to put separate buttons and you don't want to host separate levels of PDF, we can just point the link, the URL, to secure locations. And people who do not have access to those secure locations, the link just won't work for them. It'll just say access denied, right? So there are a number of different ways that we can handle that. And let me kind of show you what we're talking about here. So I'm going to go over to, like I said, where I usually tend to work, which is in these dashboarding systems. I find that we want to stay within the PDF structure. And I work primarily here in Bluebeam Review because I like the tools and the features that it has. But I want to show you this, right? That what we can do here is, you notice that we've really got two distinct maps here. I've got a private map and I've got a public map. Sorry, I got them backwards. There we go. All right, so here's my general public map, and over here I split it, so I got a split screen view. Identical, they look exactly the same, and this is the kind of thing we can do. But the difference is that when people go in here, this public map, when they click, you see that it's going to bring them up to the general override district plan. Well, same thing, when they go over to the private one, it's going to look identical, okay? So no problems, right? We're maintaining the consistency of presentation and integration and thought for our process. But the difference is when we get in here, right, and we're dealing with the private maps on the right and the public ones here. When we go to the public one, see, it takes us right to the school elementary page, which has the general floor plan, teacher information, parent-teacher conferencing, right? Whatever data you want to put in here in terms of what you want in this case for a school, parents and the public to see. But if you notice over here on the private one, even though at this point they were the same, over here, you see when I go here, it actually takes me to the detailed training and safety plan for that particular school, which is only for teachers and principals and administrative staff, etc. I can completely separate it at pretty much any level that I need to, right? To be able to bring people and set them going towards all these different locations and ways to be able to work with this public and private data. Right? So like I said, I can do that at that map level, or I can actually go in and I can edit those hyperlinks, like I said, rather than splitting it out like we did here at the the individual district level, right, where I had split the into two different PDFs that I had working here with different names. I could just as easily have gone in and at any level I could have put in a button on here that says, hey, this is for the public view of this school and this is for the private view of this school. Or I could have split this outlined yellow area in half and said, hey, click here for private, click here for public, and had one PDF. Right? There are 100 different ways that we can do this and maintain it. Or like I said, if we really wanted, we could have just left this one single link here, and then when the public clicks on it, they just get an access denied, right? So if there's only certain information that you want to link to that's only available, you don't need to provide anything off of this page for the public. You can go that route as well. What I really just want you guys to take away from this is that there are, and I need you to kind of be a little imaginative, think about how this will work within your particular facility or governmental structure or whatever it may be, that we can tie and link the data for both public and private access at any point to whatever it is that's going to work best for you. All right, so there's really no limit on what we can do there. And that's the kind of stuff that we want you guys to think about. And that's the kind of stuff we try to bring up for conversation here on the TekFlow for government and public facilities. All right, guys, I'll catch you in the next episode. Have a good one.